Welcome to the United States Development Academy U-15-16 semifinals presented by Chevrolet. And our match we're bringing you today live from Glen Mooch Meyernick Field is the New York Red Bulls versus Georgia United. The winner will move on to play the winner of the Philadelphia Union versus FC Dallas. And that game will be on Sunday at 5 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. Eastern, right back here on Glen Mooch Meyernick Field. But for now, these teams have to get through these 90 minutes and win to make sure that they advance to the finals. So the teams are making their way out onto the field. Georgia United getting through after a 2-2 draw in the quarterfinals and a 5-4 win off of penalty kicks over the Vancouver Whitecaps. It was a bit more straightforward for the New York Red Bulls, a 4-2 win over Chivas USA in their quarterfinals. And this is going to be a very, very good matchup. Talking to people within the USDA, and they said out of all the games, this is the hardest one to predict. And there are going to be a lot of really good individual battles to watch here. The New York Red Bulls have run rampant this season, 93 goals in 30 games, and have yet to be shut out. And the New York Red Bulls in their traditional white jerseys with red shorts, standing still, taking the handshakes from Georgia United, who are in their red shirts and white shorts. And your referees for today's match are Michael Radchuk. John Tuggle will be the assistant referee on the near side. Viali Terry will be on the far side. And the man who has to deal with the two coaches in between the benches is Lizak Stamach. Both teams going through their final pictures. Georgia United, the only non-MLS Academy team to make it to the semifinals. Finished second in the Southwest Division, going 21-8-7 with 77 goals for and just 39 goals against, finishing 7 points behind Orlando City. But then they did the business in the playoffs, winning three games by a total score aggregate of 10-3 before going over to Vancouver and getting the job done in the penalty shootout. It's the New York Red Bulls breaking out of their huddle. Georgia United in theirs, getting set. On name alone and on paper, you would say the Red Bulls are the favorite, but this is a Georgia United squad with plenty of talent, very good collectively as they are individually. And, of course, we all know the game is not played on paper, so you are in for a good 90 minutes and possibly more here. As standing over the ball is Marin, getting set to kick off for the New York Red Bulls, who will be attacking to your left. It's all down to Michael Radchuk now, the center referee, to get us underway in the 2015 United States Development Academy U-15-16 semifinals presented by Chevrolet is on. And it's the New York Red Bulls versus Georgia United. And the Red Bulls on the attack to begin. Marin wins it in midfield, but Georgia get it right back. Good shielding, and Gosselin was charging it down but is taken right back by the New York Red Bulls. Looking to work their way up a very crowded right-hand side. And good shielding, and a great job to play out of traffic by Georgia United. And that will be a free kick as Mason Deeds taken down. Deeds named last night to the USDA Best 11. And the 16-year-old has already played up with the U-17s and 18s and also with Red Bulls, too, in the United Soccer League. Manrique. And Gosselin wins the free kick for Georgia United in the second minute. So a chance for the red jerseys to get forward here. Dave Smith said he wants his team to be very possession-oriented. And you can see that as they keep the free kick short. Great switch to the far side. And a good job to win the ball for Georgia United. This is Okonkwo. 34 goals in 37 games for Okonkwo. Also named to the USDA Best 11. And getting to the byline early on, but the ball went out of bounds. So it's going to be a goal kick for the New York Red Bulls. But Georgia United able to work it in deep in the 3rd minute. So it was a good job to work the ball around the outside, but just running out of real estate on that far side. And now it's the Red Bulls who look to build out of the back. Look for the Red Bulls to be a very high-pressing team. Their head coach, Simon Nee, says they want to get the ball forward in as few passes as possible. But they also know against compact teams they have to keep the ball. However, if they're playing a high line, he said his players need to see that dangerous pass first. And right now it's Morton with the clearance. Tigerish work from Teixeira, forcing the ball back on the far side. Manrique gives it away. Quickly closed down. And it stays in. Good work by Noah Powder to get that ball forward. Marin into the box, gets to the byline, pulls it back, and it's the opening goal for the Red Bulls. And a thumbs up for the cameras. Giveaway in midfield, and it was all too easy.
New York Red Bulls goal in the 5th minute by number 11, Karan Thomas.
And it's Karan Thomas with the goal for the New York Red Bulls. Well, Karan Thomas plays for Georgia United, so that's not right. Listed number 11 is Shinagabu. But Shinagabu wasn't in the starting lineup. Unless it was a last-minute switch for Saramago. Either way, the Red Bulls are ahead 1-0. And it was Saramago who's wearing number 11. He's listed as 14, but Saramago, with his 9th goal in 5 games now, had a hat-trick in that 4-2 win against Chivas. So Saramago right on the 4th minute mark, and it all started with a win in midfield from this man, Noah Powder. The Red Bulls moving the ball quickly with confidence. However, that shot was always rising from Marin. Then it will be a goal kick for Morton. Stands at 6 foot, 200 pounds. Morton has both U.S. and Canadian citizenship and has trained with the U-17 Canadian national team. One right back by the Red Bulls in midfield, looking to go forward again. Smart touch to get it away from Saramago. And one on the far side by D'Andrea. The Brazilian wins a throw-in for the Red Bulls. Perno, little touch out wide. And plenty of space for Marin to operate. Quickly played through. The cross comes in, flicked on. Might be something on it. The back post for Powder. Not sure whether he got to it or it's an own goal, but nevertheless, as we've hit the 8th minute, it's 2-0 Red Bulls. Well, Powder certainly claiming it. A dream start for New York. So they've come flying out of the starting gates. It was a cross in. Well, Powder did get a final touch.
Goal in the 8th minute for the Red Bulls. Number 6, Noah.
Pineda was trying to clear it, and it hit off Powder and into the net. So 2 goals in the space of 2.5 minutes. And now to compound Georgia United's problems, Pineda is down. And the 16-year-old really looks to be struggling. Tried to make the clearance, Pineda. But this is a Georgia United side that's going to have to regroup. Perno getting some water. About high 70s here in Carson. Wind swirling around as it usually does just outside the StubHub Center. And Pineda being helped up, has his shoe off, and he's really laboring as he needs help to get off the field. And looks like Dave Smith is going to have to go to his bench early. This is not at all what we were expecting when we looked at the matchup between these two teams. But the New York Red Bulls are off to a flyer at the moment. Goals from Saramago and Powder in the 4th and 7th minutes. And Pineda is going to be unable to continue. And Pimenta is going to come in for him. So Pimenta is on for his 34th appearance of the season. Oh, and another poor giveaway. Saramago wanted it back out wide. And this is Pimenta's first touch. Strong challenge from the goal scorer, Powder. And he thought the throw-in should have gone his way. The assistant referee disagrees. Georgia United looking to work their way out of the back under the high pressure of this New York Red Bull squad. And that's a beautifully weighted ball. Neatly brought down by Manrique. Hernando Manrique once again. The long searching ball looking for Okonkwo. And he's in a foot race with Deeds. Gets there before Deeds and slots it into the far post. Game on. Okonkwo in the 11th minute scores his 35th goal of the season as he had Deeds beaten for pace and then rolled the ball beyond Xavier Kennedy into the far post. Just one moment changing the entire complexion of the game. And Xavier Kennedy asking where his defense was there. Two of the best players in the USDA going toe-to-toe. And Okonkwo won the battle against Deeds.
Georgia United goal in the 11th minute by number 11, Patrick Okonkwo.
I think they like it from the broadcast. That's why it was fun.
Three goals inside the first 11 minutes. The first two went to the Red Bulls, and they thought they were in for a very comfortable afternoon. And how quickly that changed with one long ball and a strong run from Okonkwo. Thrown on the far side. Chested back for D'Andrea. Smart little touch off from the Brazilian. Marin. And good passing in tight spaces from the Red Bulls. They were trying to feed that one into the channel for D'Andrea to get behind.
Yeah, go ahead.
And now D'Andrea will look to switch the field. Smartly into the space for Powder. This is Pirno. Long searching ball cut out. Well, Marin's been very involved early on. Good header out by Hinao. Juan Pablo Torres trying to get a touch, but it's won back by the Red Bulls. And Xavier Kennedy, well, the first time he touched the ball in this game, he was picking it out of his net. But the Red Bulls have a 2-1 lead in the 14th minute. The winner of this semifinal will move on to face the winner of the Philadelphia Union versus FC Dallas. That match will be at 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern on Sunday. Or Saturday, beg your pardon. Torres. Manrique. Pimenta fighting for it against Powder. And Powder wins the battle. Bit of heavy touch from Marin. Powder climbed highest. And now that errant ball will allow the Red Bulls to apply that high pressure. And safety first from Morton. Just lofting it into the air. One on the far side by the Red Bulls. Torres. Member of the youth national team pool, Torres. And Powder's getting forward once again. Score of the second goal for the Red Bulls. Looking to turn provider here, but nobody was crashing the back stick in a Red Bulls jersey. And this one's going to go all the way out of bounds for a throw-in on the far side for Diego Manrique. Twin brothers out there for Georgia United. Diego Manrique, the outside back on the far side, and Hernando Enrique, the outside back on this near side. That one off of Carlton last. Well, no surprise that there are already 3 goals in this one, just 16 minutes in. 7 goals the last time these two teams met. It was a 5-2 victory for the New York Red Bulls back in December. And a quick shot, flashing just wide of Morton's goal. Well taken by Mingachos. Mingachos knows something about scoring goals, as it was a nice layoff to him and he just missed picking out the far post. Mingachos scored both the game-winning goals as New York Red Bulls won the Generation Adidas tournament, scored goals against Sport Recife of Brazil and Independiente Medellin of Colombia. 2 very storied clubs, not only in their national leagues but at the youth level as well. So those 2 huge goals, not only for Mingachos, but for the New York Red Bulls as well. Neatly bought down on the chest. Marin. Mingachos. Powder getting forward at every opportunity. And the spaces open up, looking for the far side. And Morton did well to get something on it. Needed to push that rebound to the side, rather pushed it right back in the middle. And there was another opportunity for the New York Red Bulls. But Georgia United able to scramble it clear. Not out of the woods yet, though, as DeAndrea almost created space on the far side, but that's a crucial intervention. And Carlton so good on the dribble. And taken down, and, well, if it weren't so early, this could be a yellow card. Great little ball flicked outside. And a good shot toward the back post. And if Morton's not going to catch that, he needs to at least push that off to the side, not right back into the center. Free kick taken by Manrique. Long ball searching for the goal scorer, Okonkwo. Okonkwo takes the throw on himself. Torres. And smashed away from him, Saramago. 9 goals in his last 5 games now, Saramago. Coming off that hat trick against Chivas USA. And a brace before that against Chelsea Solar, as well as the Portland Timbers. Has scored in every postseason game now, Saramago. Just like Mason Deeds, he's also seeing time with Red Bull too. Carlton couldn't latch onto it on the far side, so it'll be a throw-in for the Red Bulls in the 19th minute. Okonkwo dispossessed. Perno looking for options. Fernandez is checking in. And this is Fernandez. 3 goals in his last 3 games, Fernandez. Had to get it off. And this is Deeds. Fernandez just popping up everywhere. Lovely little move to skip past his man. Fires the shot, but well wide of Morton's goal. Good work from Omar Fernandez, finding those little pockets of space in the center. And then creating the space for himself to shoot. 1 touch to get it out of his feet. But you could see he just didn't get the proper contact on the ball. And it's Okonkwo running through again, but this time quickly off his line is Kennedy. The Red Bulls are able to keep it in on the far side. DeAndrea has switched flanks. Working one-on-one against Manrique. Now elects to cut inside. Still going DeAndrea. That's a beautiful ball to the far side. Marin cuts it back. Tried to play it back to the penalty spot, but Georgia United were wise to it. And Carlton with a smart touch out. Goslin. And the wind took that one over the head of Carlton. The 2 U.S. national team players trying to connect for Georgia United. Perno to mop up for the Red Bulls. And that pass just a bit overcooked, but it was a good idea looking for Marin. And be a throw-in on the far side. 22nd minute. And the New York Red Bulls have a 2-1 lead over Georgia United. Goals coming in the 4th and 7th minute from Saramango and Powder. But then Okonkwo answered back for Georgia United in the 11th. So once again, those long balls getting caught up in the wind. And the teams need to be careful of that. D'Andrea almost got onto it. Space for Gosselin to work. And him and Carlton weren't on the same page. And now the Red Bulls could be in business here. So nobody stepping up, allowing the Red Bulls to advance. Torres. Taken down from behind by Marin. It will be a free kick for Georgia United in the 23rd minute. Good job in shielding his body, Juan Pablo Torres. A hit off of Powder, but after the ball had already gone out of bounds. So a chance for Georgia United to creep up this near side, looking for the equalizer in the 24th minute. Lovely turn from Okonkwo, working his way into the box, got by the first man, but couldn't get by the second. DeAndreas. Marin helped it on, but it's won by Manrique on the far side. Into the middle for Torres. Gosselin just unable to get onto it. Lovely touch from Hernando Manrique. And Gosselin floats it to the back post, but the offside flag is up despite the beautiful trap and volley from Carlton. Wide in the end, but even if it had gone in, wouldn't have counted, as Carlton went just a second too soon. Georgia United really showing their mettle on the counterattack. It's been these long balls that's been unsettling this New York Red Bulls back line. You can see there that the referee's assistant got it right. Kennedy plays this one short. Kyle Perno to bring it forward. Saramago. This ball sat up nicely for DeAndreas, who brings it down on the chest. The Brazilian inside for Gilby. Lovely ball into the channel. And a good turn from Fernandez. Still going Fernandez. Great job to stand his feet. Fernandez somehow gets through. And the referee pointing for a free kick right at the top of the box. As Fernandez was being tugged and pulled the whole way through, somehow made it through there. And then the tackle at the last second, and the referee's assistant bringing it back for the foul. Just look at this for a piece of skill. Lovely turn to get around Hinau. Hinau all over him, gets through, and then Hinau getting in the crucial block and injuring Fernandez. And Fernandez is down, and the trainers have to come out and check on him. And right away, as the New York Red Bulls players ran up to Fernandez, they quickly turned to the bench and wait for the trainers to come on. What a tremendous run that was from the 16-year-old Omer Fernandez. So close to his 22nd goal of the season. But Hinau, who had fouled him the whole way, and give Fernandez credit for staying up, was able to get in a block at the last second. Otherwise, that would have been the third goal of the game for the Red Bulls. Instead, it's going to be a free kick right at the top of the box. The good news is that Fernandez looks to be okay. So another look There's the tug, and it was just outside the box, so a good job from the referee, Michael Radchuk. And credit to Fernandez, so many players looking for the foul would have gone down. Four Red Bulls players conspiring over this dead ball. Gilby wants to get in on the party as well. This one begging to be hit. It's a straight shot on goal. We could see something from the training ground here. Chance to regain the 2-goal lead in the 28th minute for the New York Red Bulls. And it's Saramago who's over it. And it's Saramago. Oh, the crossbar coming to Morton's rescue. Well struck by Saramago, who threw his hands up in frustration. And that one just always rising. And Georgia United have the crossbar to think that they're still in this in the 28th minute. Getting forward quickly. Okonkwo. Perhaps trying to be a bit too fancy, but it comes back to him, Okonkwo. Now a throw in deep in New York Red Bulls territory. Perhaps a chance for a long throw for Georgia United as the Cavalry's coming up from the back. Andreas Jackson is getting forward. And in fact, it is going to be a corner kick. So before the ball had been kicked out on this near side, it had already gone over the end line. And the referee not happy with the handbags he's seeing right at the top of the box. Things getting a little bit chippy in there. And now it's Okonkwo and Deeds getting called out.
Hey.
Referee telling them to just cut it out. Yet the two of them still going at it. In swinger from the near side. And that's a good ball in. Kennedy's out, he's missed it. But it's put over the net by Andreas Jackson, who couldn't get his header down. Jackson out of North Cobb High School, where he was the defender of the year before he joined Georgia United's academy. Almost getting the job done at the other end. Powder's first touch lets him down, but he does well to recover. However, United able to put them under some pressure, and they'll win the ball back. Just past the half-hour mark here at Glenn Mooch Meyernick Field. The main training field for all the U.S. national teams at every level. But today it's all about the USDA semifinals for the U-15 16s. And it's a good game we have on our hands. The New York Red Bulls leading 2-1 over Georgia United. All the scoring coming in the first 11 minutes. Saramago got us underway after just 4 minutes. Beautiful pullback, and he redirected it to the far post. And then Powder blocking a clearance into the net to make it 2-0 Red Bulls. And they thought it was going to be a comfortable afternoon, but just 4 minutes later, a long ball. He chased it down and slid it beyond Xavier Kennedy. And Kennedy, well, keepers have to be brave, and he certainly was. Did just enough to put off Jackson. So United winning on the far side. Little touch off for Gosselin. Sprinting in is Pimenta. That was well defended by the Red Bulls, who look to break out through D'Andrea. Saramago working against Jackson. Has DeAndrea in support, instead goes for the quick cross. Falls kindly for DeAndrea. Last ditch clearance from Georgia United. And Carleton fighting for it on the far side, but it's won by Teixeira. Teixeira has a step on Carleton, gets in the cross, but it's too close to Morton, who comes out to claim. Torres clips it out wide. Carleton. The Diego variety. You can see that Aquanco so good at not only turning and going to goal, but if he's able to chest that down properly, then he can hold up that ball and bring his midfielders into the attack. So he can act as the release valve, and then more numbers can join off him as he holds that ball and waits for more red jerseys to join him. And the idea was there, but Perno had time, had space to take as well. Could have looked for a short option. Instead, went for the most difficult ball. And it's out for a goal kick for Morton. Not a bad idea, though, from Perno, but once again, it's hard to loft these balls, especially with this wind. And now Powder's down. And it looks like Powder's going to have to come out. As already Kevin O'Toole is up. And Powder, the scorer of the second goal for the New York Red Bulls, limps off. And O'Toole will make his way onto the field. Just 15 years old, Kevin O'Toole out of Montclair High School, making his 18th appearance for the New York Red Bulls this season. Morton's goal kick flicked on by Jackson. Played right back into Fernandez. Heavy touch from him. But won back by Gilby. Gilby able to ride the first challenge, but not the second from Torres. Excellent footwork in tight spaces
Red
from
Bull
Torres to get out of the
substitution
traffic.
in the 35th minute. Kevin O'Toole in for Noah Powder.
So Noah Powder's afternoon is cut short due to injury. But he does have the goal that's given the New York Red Bulls the lead. Gilby, inside for Fernandez. Skips past the first challenge. Still fighting Fernandez. Went for the quick snapshot and went down again. This time the referee not interested, and it's just a goal kick from Morton. Hernando Manrique. Jackson asking for it. Has to be careful. He has a player lurking behind him. Flicked on, looking for Okonkwo, but Deeds will guide it back to his keeper. O'Toole's first touch. And it hit off O'Toole last. Pimenta wins the throne for Georgia United. So O'Toole tried to bring that ball down. Perhaps could have knotted it with his head backwards. And the cross coming in from Pimenta, but too close to Kennedy, who will gather. Quick distribution to the far side. Space for DeAndre, who is operating on both flanks this afternoon. Gets it into the middle for Teixeira. Back out wide for DeAndrea. Brazilian looking for space. Onto that right foot. Gets off the cross, but it's repelled once again by Georgia United. 37th minute, and both sides have already had to make a substitution due to injury. A chance put right into the breadbasket of Morton. There's that high pressing, though, from the New York Red Bulls, winning the ball back in vital areas. Chance for quick fire attacks.
Go on, Hernando.
Have to do the work on the defensive end here, though, as Hernando Manrique getting forward. But the ball skipping past him and out of bounds will be a throw-in for the New York Red Bulls in the 38th minute. Gilby. Perno. And Manrique stepped in. Good quick possession, though, from the New York Red Bulls. Constantly moving it, making it hard for this United side to win it back. However, they do here through Torres. Carlton, so dangerous off the dribble. And he wins the free kick. Torres wants to take it quickly as he sees space on that far side.
Get forward.
Gosselin checks in the middle. And Okonkwo check to it. And now Deeds and Okonkwo going at it once again, and Deeds is down. It's the two of them collided. Deeds is holding on to his head. Oh, it's been a rough game. Trainer's being called on once again. Deeds getting up quickly and telling the trainer to go back off. But the referee wants her to come on because Deeds was grabbing his head, and referees need to make sure, especially in this day and age. The whistle had already gone when this collision happened. And I think Deeds' head just went into around the chest area of Okonkwo. And Deeds looks to be okay. Quickly running off the field and asking to come right back in.
Stay up higher, Isaac.
And Deeds is going to have to wait till after this free kick. So for the moment, the Red Bulls are defending with 10 men.
Stay with Dre.
He now is up from the back, looking for it. He now falls kindly for Carlton. Carlton brought down, referee not interested, and it's the Red Bulls to go the other way.
Isaac, come help.
And now Deeds is back on. So back to 11v11 in the 41st minute. Good work on the far side by Mingachos. But in the end, it ends up rolling out of bounds for a goal kick.
Okay, we got 3 minutes.
So we've hit the 40th minute mark. Well into that, we've had a lot of stoppages, 2 substitutions, 3 goals, so no surprise that there's a good bit of stoppage time here. Although we didn't see any indication from the 4th official as to how much there is. Nevertheless, Marines going and almost found the upper corner. Three minutes of stoppage time had been added on. have to feel about a little over 2 of that has elapsed.
There'll be 3 minutes added on to this half.
And Morton wants everybody forward, knowing that this is probably the last opportunity of the half for Georgia United. Manrique gets there before Fernandez. Morton trying to play it out. Good job by Manrique to skip past Gilby. Spray it out wide. Torres. He's been the conductor in midfield for this United side. Looking for Carlton down the wing. But Deeds is over, trying to shield this ball out of bounds. And he gets the job done. Good work by Mason Deeds. Xavier taking it short, even though Okonkwo is in the vicinity. Flicked on, looking for DeAndrea. But it'll roll out of bounds on the far side for a throw-in. But United won't get to take it as we've reached halftime here in the semifinals. The United States Development Academy U-15 16s.
New York Red Bulls 2.
Presented by Chevrolet, and at halftime, it's the New York Red Bulls 2 and Georgia United 1. All the scoring inside the first 11 minutes as Saramago nipped in and put the ball into the far post after a good run and pull back from the byline. And then, just 3 minutes later, Powder sprinting into the box and jumping in front of a clearance from Hector Pineda. And the ball ricocheted off of him and went into the net for the second goal. As DeAndrea played a crafty ball in here, it was a header the wrong way off a Georgia United defender. Pineda was trying to mop up, but Powder just too much for him, and he scored the second goal. However, just 4 minutes after that, Okonkwo took a long ball down, beat Mason Deeds, and beat Xavier Kennedy as well. And at halftime, it's the New York Red Bulls 2, Georgia United 1. We're going to step aside, but we'll be back for the final 40 minutes and possibly more here in this semifinal. All set for the second half between the New York Red Bulls and Georgia United. Red Bulls have a 2-1 lead. United has the ball to start the second half. After a false start, we're back underway. As Torres on the ball. He and Gosselin need to see more of it if Georgia United are going to get that second goal. As is this man, Carlton. Dangerous and crafty off the dribble. But this time, it's Okonkwo that's crowded out. And going forward is Marin. Can't get by Karan Thomas. Carlton. Unable to find his way past Gilby. And now the Red Bulls with their first real attack of the second half, but it quickly peters out as the ball falls to Hinau. One back by Marin. Nifty little spin move, leaves it off, and the quick shot, easy for Morton in the end. But getting on it quickly was Saramago, looking for his second goal of the game. Has had multi-goal games in his last 3. Hat-trick against Chivas USA and braces against both the Portland Timbers and Solar Chelsea. Hinau stepping in and stabbing the ball off of him and winning a corner kick is the New York Red Bulls. First of the half for them. And it's Gilby who will come over to take the corner. Gilby's going to take it short. Sent in by Teixeira. And Georgia United hunting impacts to try and win that ball back. It's Pimenta fighting for it on the far side, but it's won by the Red Bulls. Walking across the top of the box is Marin. Gets it across. Good move and quick snapshot, but well positioned is Morton. As it was Gilby who was making sure that Morton was paying attention. Carlton has the ball stabbed away from him by Teixeira. Marin looking to make inroads. And Thomas wins it cleanly. And off of Marin and out of bounds. Red Bulls pleading for a free kick, but they fall on deaf ears. Torres, facing the wrong way, gives it off to Morton. Almost putting him into an awkward situation, but Morton able to deal with it. And the long ball tracked down by Perno. Cleared only as far as Hernando Manrique. And he'll have to cycle back. Andreas with the clearance, flicked on by Gosselin. Torres, lovely interchange in the midfield. Carlton trying to stay on side. And Pimenta being fouled, and this will be a yellow card to Teixeira. It was a tactical foul, a smart foul as well, because Teixeira knew that if Thomas is able to play this ball to Carlton, then he could be in. So it's a yellow card that he had to take. So Teixeira goes into the referee's book in the 44th minute. And just 3 players camped out at the top of the box. So United's going to spray it out wide. Facing the double team on the far side. Smart ball into the corner. Pimenta gets to it. But not in time, according to the assistant referee. So it's going to be a goal kick for the New York Red Bulls. Holding on to that 2-1 lead, courtesy of goals inside the first 7 minutes from Saramago and Powder. He now gets it away from Saramago. That one skips under Torres. Lays up nicely for Carlton. It was a good idea. Just a bit too much mustard on that pass. And Xavier Kennedy comes to the extreme of his penalty area to take. You can see how quickly New York Red Bulls want to move the ball. Teixeira looking to combine with DeAndrea. Carlton policing them. Gilby has space to pick out a pass. And clipped in, but nobody making the run. However, the ball's going to stay in bounds in this wind. And Georgia United have to work to get it clear. Goslin, little touch on for Carlton. Dispossessed, and that to me looked like a clean challenge. But instead it's going to be a free kick for Georgia United. And both Marin and especially Teixeira, who's on a yellow, have to be careful. Thomas. Head coach Dave Smith said that Thomas has been playing so well that after a 2-year absence from the national team, he thinks it's time that Karan Thomas gets called back in. Diego Manrique. Torres. Pimenta trying to turn on the far side. One back by the Red Bulls, and they do a good job to keep the ball in bounds. DeAndrea. And the Red Bulls will hit the reset button in the 47th minute. Long searching ball held up. Okonkwo. Oh, what a turn from Okonkwo. Still going Okonkwo, but Deed stepped in well. Thomas has to go back with it. Jackson. Torres. Trying to get a little bit of space from his opposite number. And forced out of bounds. Excellent work by Gilby on Torres there. A reminder that on ussoccer.com, you can also catch the other U-15-16 semifinal presented by Chevrolet, which has just started between the Philadelphia Union and FC Dallas. Of course, we want you to stay with us, and then you can switch over and catch the end of that game at the conclusion of this one. And then at 8 o'clock, it's the U-17s, U-18s who take center stage, as Real Salt Lake will face off against San Jose Earthquakes. And there should be goals in that one too. Real Salt Lake, Arizona scored 161 goals in the regular season. Excellent one-touch passing from the Red Bulls. Now they're looking for that little bit of an individual spark up and around the top of the box as they're trying to pierce the armor of that very compact Georgia United defense. And this time just out for a goal kick. And of course, not only RSLAZ and the San Jose Earthquakes, but also the Chicago Fire and the Montreal Impact will be playing tonight, and their semifinal can be found on U.S. Soccer as well. Great job by Gilby to slide in and win that one and make sure that Carlton in space. I said it right at the beginning of this half. I'll say it again. Gosling, Okonkwo, Carlton, and Torres need to see more of the ball. In the midfield, especially Gosling and Torres. And then up front, Carlton needs to look to combine with Okonkwo. So this time, Gosling played it short, and Okonkwo had to run. O'Toole. Well read on the far side by Manrique. Space for the Red Bulls to operate. Saramago had the ball poked away from him. And this is Gosling. Manrique. Hinao. That was a great ball, even though he was clipped. The referee rightly playing advantage. And now Carlton's in space. Brings it down on the chest, Carlton. Still going, Carlton. Can't pick out the near post. You can see frustration on the face of Carlton and in his body language as he kicks the boards. Knows that he was probably trying to put that far post and just didn't catch it right. But what a ball that is from Torres. And Carlton did well to bring it down on the chest. And a good job by Teixeira to hassle and harry him and put him off. Make sure that he didn't hit it cleanly. Mason Deeds in the 52nd minute. Simon Neat at the edge of his technical area saying he's not happy with how direct it is. Wants his team to start combining a bit more as Deeds steps in and stabs that one away from Okonkwo. Hinao. So good at playing the ball out of the back, Hinao. Hernando Manrique slipped on the far side. Marine. Has space for the shot, Marine. But once again, hits it right at the keeper. Morton's positioning has been good this afternoon. Looks to be an easy save in the end as it was hit right at him, but the truth is, if a keeper doesn't have his positioning right, that's going to be a lot harder. DeAndrea invited to go at the gap, thought about the shot, instead little touch out wide. Now cutting in, looking to curl it to the far corner. What a goal that would have been. Fernandez showing why he has 3 goals in his last 3 games. And just looked up, picked out his spot, and almost found it. DeAndrea wins it again. Thinking about the shot. This time he'll step into it. And it was always skewing away from Morton's goal. So another goal kick for Morton in the 54th minute. His United side trail 2-1. All the scoring coming inside the first 11 minutes. So the Red Bulls were off to a flyer. Goals from Saramago and Powder in the 4th and the 7th. And then Okonkwo cut the lead in half in the 11th. Quickly taken free kick. Marin. Little ball off. Fernandez is fighting. And he'll win another throw-in for the Red Bulls. Well, the Red Bulls look the more likely side to get the next goal, but Georgia United have shown that they can change that in just 1 or 2 passes. Carlton bumped off the ball on the far side. Still fighting for Carlton, but the Red Bulls win it back. Played in danger area. It's a useful cross. And finally, United able to scramble it clear. Uncharacteristic heavy touch from Torres. The Red Bulls unable to get the cross off, and it will be a goal kick for Georgia United. Approaching the 55th minute mark. Still 2-1 in favor of the Red Bulls, doing a good job to press high. As it was a dangerous ball in. And Saramago got there before Morton. And then trying to put it back across, but he now was there. Morton plays this one quickly. He now sends it forward. Pimenta was looking for the flick on, but instead it's won by Perno. Gets the second ball first as well. Teixeira. DeAndrea. Invited to shoot once again, DeAndrea. Took a few more touches, taking himself out wide. Now looking to play it into the channel, but Carlton, who switched wings, is able to get back and win it. And it's another goal kick from Morton. And I know that Georgia United's a possession team, but they've looked more dangerous when they've been more direct. Morton's goal kick, won by Mason Deeds. Manrique gets it back to his keeper. He now is shaping out to this near side. And took one too many touches, but he's able to get it off to Manrique. Diego Manrique pushes it forward for Pimenta. Into the gap, but just a bit too far ahead of Okonkwo. And Kennedy calling for calm. It's an excellent move, though, from Georgia United. That final ball, just a bit too much weight on it. DeAndrea. Bumped by Thomas, but play goes on. Perno. O'Toole. Mingachos checks in. Deeds looking for options. Finds it in his target man, Saramago, but it goes all the way through. Little touch back for the keeper from Jackson. Morton gets it away under pressure. Lovely first touch and then spin from Carlton, and a good idea playing it through, but once again, Xavier Kennedy reads it well and is off his line to claim. From the defender, too, not to allow Okonkwo to get to that. And now it's Marin, one-on-one against Hinao. Marin, little touch back for Teixeira. Looking to set the table, and is a good ball in. And that's the second time there's been a ball played to the back post that was dangerous, that no one was looking for in a Red Bulls jersey. And the break could be on here for Georgia United. Played over the head of Pimenta, but not Deeds. Cleared only as far as Okonkwo. Played out wide for Torres, but he sees the offsides flag go up against him. Free quickly taken. Georgia United need to pressure a bit higher. Good step in from Thomas, reading the game well. Check that, Diego Manrique. Gosling gets it out wide. Carlton tries to poke it back for Hernando Manrique. Approaching the hour mark, New York Red Bulls holding on to a 2-1 lead over Georgia United. Goals from Saramago and Powder have them in the lead. Okonkwo with the response for United, and he's looking for the leveler here, but the Red Bulls are able to get it away. And now this game has really opened up. Look at the space in between the lines, about 15 to 20 yards, and the Red Bulls are looking to take advantage. Saramago, DeAndrea, Marin. Good shot from Marin. Just skimming over the crossbar. Morton had some men's shoes there. DeAndrea laid it back, and I think everybody was expecting a cross from this angle, but Marin had eyes for that far corner. Carlton. Oh, how did he manage to keep that in? And Carlton dragged down from behind. Free kick to Georgia United. Right on the 61st minute mark. And Thomas almost putting his team in real trouble there, but it fell kindly for Hinau. Thomas gets it back. Manrique, long searching ball looking for the run of Okonkwo. Battling with Deeds, and Deeds wins it. And a little bit of extracurriculars, and Okonkwo could be in real trouble here. And it's a red card. And now Georgia United's most important player is going to be off in the 62nd minute for throwing an elbow at Deeds as the two of them went down. Whether or not it was inadvertent, don't know, but Okonkwo is off here. And how that changes the complexion of the game. So Okonkwo's season is done. It was good shielding by Deeds. The ball about to go out. Okonkwo kept it in. And then you can't see, but it was something right after the two of them leave the picture that forced the referee, Michael Radchik, to go to his pocket and reach for the red card. And Dave Smith, the head coach of Georgia United, who is usually so calm, cannot believe this. The referee blowing the whistle while everybody's still getting water. Deeds waiting to ask to come back in. Here's a better look to see what happened. The two of them go down. Now, does anything happen here? It doesn't seem to me. Perhaps Okonkwo threw Deeds off of him, but said earlier it had to be like an elbow or something, a hand across the face, but I didn't see that. I more rather saw him just wrap his arm and pull him off. So Okonkwo's season is done. 38 games, 35 goals. And for these final 17 minutes and change, Georgia United have to look for an equalizer without their leading goal getter. Good defending from Pimenta, but at the expense of a corner kick. And now it's going to be the Red Bulls getting ready to flick the switch on their second substitution of the afternoon. Checking into the game is Kyle Casey for his 19th appearance, 8 goals on the season. Here comes the corner kick from the Red Bulls. It's another dangerous ball. Out to O'Toole. He elects to have a go. Falls kindly in the feet of DeAndreas. And the flag is up. Good save from Morton. But it wouldn't have counted. So Morton takes the free kick short. Carlton dragged down on the far side. And now O'Toole could be in trouble here. And it's going to be a yellow card. In fact, it wasn't O'Toole. Free kick, a chance for Georgia United to set the table. And it's too deep, and Kennedy comes out and snags it. Deeds, lovely first touch to open up his body and get in the direction that he wants to go. Beautiful ball for Kyle as well. Still going, Kyle Casey. Leaves it off for Marin. Tried to thread it through. Wins it back off of Torres, Marin. And this is Teixeira. Into the channel for Casey. Was just trying to keep it in. And instead directed it right to Morton. Morton's punt. Gosselin is playing higher up the field now. Him and Carlton combining. Out wide for Hernando Manrique. In for Carlton. Gosselin is there. Still going Carlton. Carlton takes the space. And almost picked out the far corner, but Kennedy got down well. But you can see why Carlton's rated so highly. Able to engineer a bit of space for himself. And he struck it with the necessary power, but not the direction that he needed to beat Xavier Kennedy. '68th minute, and the Red Bulls content to possess the ball. They have a man advantage after the red card to Okonkwo. And foul after the pass had been laid back off and the player cramping up as well. Reminder that after this 8 p.m. Eastern start, or excuse me, 10:30 p.m. start Eastern, 7:30 Pacific, it'll be RSL Arizona versus the San Jose Earthquakes in the U-17s 18s semifinal. And also after this game, you can watch the conclusion of the U-15 U-16s other semifinal between the Philadelphia Union and FC Dallas. And FC Dallas has a 1-0 lead in that game. Junior Ramos scoring in the 14th minute for the Texas club. Adrian Ramos. Oh, good turn. Saramago. Marin. Trying to get a half yard of space, Marin. And he's closed down by 3 red jerseys but he wins a corner kick, Marin. Not only are more opportunities being created by the New York Red Bulls, but more time bleeds off the clock with each corner kick. Is Pimenta just unable to keep it from going all the way over the line. And referee Michael Radchuk has already played his part in the game, telling the Red Bulls to hurry it up. And it's another good service in, and Morton just getting a hand on it to keep it out. Saramago puts it back into the mix, but too close to the keeper. Good reactions from Morton. That was a huge save. So we are inside the final 10 minutes. The New York Red Bulls almost got the insurance goal that they crave. Torres unable to spin away from Casey. Marin. Saramago. Oh, he put it through for Saramago, Marin, but he didn't make the run. Can Georgia United find the equalizer? It's a bit of a heavy touch, and it's safety first from the New York Red Bulls. Hinata take the throw in. Instead, he'll leave it up for Manrique. Free kick for the Red Bulls in the 72nd minute. And once again, they're going to take their time on these. Gilby needs to stop jabbing at the referee. No, you're in the heat of the moment, but you got to remember that there's possibly a final to play in, especially with the 2-1 lead. Well stepped in by Teixeira. And now a substitution as Victor Pereira is going to check in for his 36th appearance of the season. And leaving the game is Pimenta, who came on early in the 8th minute for the injured Hector Pineda. So a sub for a sub, and it's a tactical one at that. As Pereira will offer the energy and that spark going forward that Georgia United need inside these final 7 minutes and change. As it was a good cross, but a good job coming over and cover as well. And it hit off the Red Bulls last, so it'll be a goal kick from Morton. And playing it short again, but Georgia United have looked dangerous when they've been more direct, as they get the ball quickly to Carlton. Carlton spinning away from the pressure. DeAndrea policing him, but Carlton able to get it out wide. Flag stays down. Carlton checking back in, but instead Manrique has his pocket picked. And a good sliding challenge to quell the counterattack, but it still might be on here for the Red Bulls. Saramago flicks it out wide. Marin spinning away. And now Gilby joins the party. DeAndrea. Little touch on for Marine. Tried to thread it through. And Marine will pick up the pieces. Quick shot. Right into the gut of Andreas Jackson. And Manrique bulldozes his way through. Gets it off to Goslin. Goslin, can he still play his part as he's fouled by Mason Deeds? And now Mason Deeds is going to get a yellow card. So Deeds will go in the book in the 75th minute. Michael Radchuk explaining it to him. And now Dietz has to be careful for these final few minutes. Free kick setting up a very nervy finale for the New York Red Bulls, clinging on to this 2-1 lead. All the goals coming inside the first 11 minutes, but will we see the ball ripple the back of the net inside these last 5+ change? Oh, it's a good ball in, and just over the head of Jackson, who had come up from his center back position. Whipped in with real pace from Diego Manrique. Has a 3.9 GPA at Mill Creek High School. And has a footballing brain of the same proportions. Jackson back now doing his usual defensive work. Pereira, his first real touch of the game, and it's a good one. Looking for it back in the center circle, Pereira, but instead it goes to Torres. 77th minute. Carlton looking to run. Has Goslin and Pereira in front of him. Slips it in, and that's a crucial intervention from Perno. Jackson. Manrique. Torres. Free kick. And now with time winding down, everything's going to be floated toward the box, but that one played too deep. And it's easy for Xavier Kennedy in the end. Pressure has to be higher in these final minutes from Georgia United. And you see why. Once they step up, that's where they win the ball. Manrique looking for options. Carlton spins away. Torres. Back to Carlton, and a heavy touch allows Pirno to clear. Only as far as Juan Pablo Torres. Playing out wide to the far side for Hernando Manrique. And the question is whether it's going to be a throw-in or a free kick. Either way, more seconds ticking off the clock from a Georgia United perspective. And too tactile for the referee's liking on the far side. Teixeira has to come back to get it. He now gets it away from Saramago. Great tracking back from Saramago. Kyle Casey with the double team. Casey being told to hold it. And he'll give it back to Marin. The Red Bulls doing a good job to just play it into space. Most teams would have just taken that into the corner. DeAndrea. Saramago. And he slipped at the vital moment, Saramago. Otherwise, he might have been able to get a shot off. So we head into the final minute of the 80. Long ball searching for Carlton, wins the header. Goslin unable to spin away from Mingachos.
Get forward. Q, get forward.
Carlton with the throw-in. Dave Smith pleading with everyone to get forward. Just two players back, making sure that Saramago can't get away on a breakaway. So we're into the final 30 seconds of regulation, and there will be 2 minutes of stoppage time added on. So 2.5 minutes plus whatever else the referee adds at his discretion. The Red Bulls clinging on to their 2-1 lead, and Carlton wins the free kick.
Take your time. Get in,
Can Georgia United snatch a last grasp equalizer to send this game into extra time via the free kick?
There will be a minimum of 2 minutes added to the time.
He now is up from the back. Jackson is up from the back. Pereira is getting in there. Goslin is camped out just at the top of the box. And this one played in over the head of Hinao. And it will roll harmlessly out for a goal kick, as we are now into stoppage time. Kennedy taking a drink and now saying, well, somebody's got to get a ball. Kennedy smartly jogging over. Any walking, he could very well be given a yellow card by Michael Radchuk for time wasting, and we've seen that Radchuk hasn't been afraid to reach into his pocket. Sent off Okonkwo in the 62nd minute as him and Deeds clashed right along the end line. Kennedy's long clearance. Hernando Manrique sends it only as far as Mingachos, and he'll just play it downfield. Morton brings it into the box where he can pick it up. Looking for one of his thundering punts. And it's great distribution right onto the feet of Carlton. And this is an excellent move from Georgia United. But Pereira can't get there in time. And now Marin carries into the space. Casey is flying down this near side. They find him, and Casey will smartly take it into the corner. And Casey ran out of bounds, but he did the job there. A great job to step in and win it again. He now will leave this one off for Diego Manrique. Dave Smith has his hands up in the air like, why? More time is just bleeding off this clock. Now they get it forward. Deeds heads it back. Flicked on by Kyle Casey. And that will do it. The New York Red Bulls hang on, and they will advance to the finals of the 2015 U-15 U-16 United States Development Academy Finals, presented by Chevrolet. Goals from Saramago in the 4th minute and Powder in the 7th were enough, even though Okonkwo answered back in the 11th. But it's the Red Bulls who advance, and on Saturday they will face off against either the Philadelphia Union or FC Dallas. And a reminder that on U.S. Soccer and U.S. Soccer's YouTube channel, you can go over and watch the conclusion of that game. But for now, it's Mark Serber signing off, with the New York Red Bulls advancing 2-1 over Georgia United.